It is interesting to see one man holding two chieftaincy positions in the same community. I've always known the Oweli, which was reverberating everywhere. The ESL chieftaincy title, how did that come about?
Okay. The Oweli is more or less in our area here is an elitist chieftaincy title. But that of ESL is more traditional, and the history has it that the first ESL of Ejime Kingdom is a man they call Okolo Oji. He was installed by the Oba of Benin as the ESL of Ejime Kingdom. That was longest, and the man was actually living in Yoruba land. So at the point, those days, when they kill animals like elephant, lion, they would take it to the Oba of Benin. So he is the one who decides, takes the part he wants to take, whatever he wants to give them, he gives them. They return back to their place. So that particular community, they kill some wild animals, somebody killed antelope, they killed the lion. And they just felt that they were tired of taking it to long distance, Benin City, to go and meet Oba. So they said they wanted to send somebody to the Oba to tell him that whenever they kill this animal, you just said they tell them what to send to him. Not that they will carry a whole elephant, be coming to Benin, traveling sometimes more than a month on the road. You think of what it is. It was then no vehicle, no all the big trucks you have around, carrying an elephant. But they were afraid that if the first person that will go and mention this to the Oba might not come back alive. So in that community, instead of sending their indigene, they send our man, that's our late Okolo Moji. So they actually sent him with some people, but the indigenes refused to go, so he went alone. When he got to the Oba's palace, they were shocked. So you didn't bring any parts of the animal, nothing. He said yes. Are you an indigene of that place? He said no. Oh, Oba said okay. No wonder they sent you. They know that if anybody from that community came, he won't return back alive. But Oba said, well, for you to have summoned that courage and you came, I'm going to give you something back home. So he said he should go and sleep. He ate, took his bath, and went to sleep. The next day, he got ready and they installed him as Iyase, gave him beads, gave him all manner of traditional gifts. So people thought when they waited 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, he never came back, they thought he was dead. One day he showed up with beads, cap, with all traditional regalia on. What happened? He told the story. So instead of staying there, he said he wants to go down to his town to tell them what happened. So the man migrated back to Ejime Aniogo here, then went to his camp, his district, Obelese quarters. So the whole community gathered that day. They had a party, danced till the next morning. They said, Oba Bini, everything you see on me was given to me by Oba Bini. They made me the Iyase. So that's how the Iyase title came to this land. So only the Vie family in Ejime, they are from Obelese Quarter. That's where my father is from. So from then they started different ESS have been coming like that. Till recently, there's one that was there. But that office, you don't take people's wives. There are some things, the ethics of that office you don't violate. The man there violated it. Took a man's wife, got the woman pregnant, and the woman gave birth to twins. He took the woman and the twins to Ogwashuku where he stays. Beside that, in fact, one of my cousins, the wife he was having issue with the wife. The man impregnated the man's wife. He had a baby boy, though eventually the baby died. So because of that, he was deposed. And it was published. So a vacuum came into existence. So they tried to fill the gap. So they have to tell my family to nominate someone. We actually nominated somebody, one of my uncles, but he said no, that he feels I'm the one who should. So, and there was no objection in the family. So that's how eventually I was made the Iyase of Ejeme Kingdom by Obi Godwin Zemeke of Ejemono. Yes.
How much of pressure and responsibility does that place on a young man like you?
You mean the Iyase? Well, immediately I was nominated. When the title was conferred on me, I went for research as far as to Benin. So I wanted to understand, I wanted to have full meaning of what Iyase to meant. And Iyase is the traditional prime minister of any community. So after the king, that's the next person. And I'm just new on the throne, so I'm just about 2 months old. So it's just that I was once Owele before this conferment came. There was no much pressure as Owele because there was no traditional rule for Owele. Unlike the Iyase, I was still, my family is in the US. My wife, we stay in New York. But with this one now, my presence will be needed much at home. So that's the truth. So whatever pressure, I'm equal to the task. Yeah.
That's it. Speaking of spending more of your time home, consequent of on your new responsibility as the Iyase of the kingdom, how do you see the local community in the face of the contemporary reality?
Well, the truth is our community, the whole of our clan, very backward in every sense. Infrastructure, almost 0%. Everything is here is safe. If you check everybody, if you see light shining anywhere, electricity is generated by individuals. No water, no roads, no hospital. So, as Dia said, by the grace of God, with my involvement in politics and in business too, I want to see how can I attract development to my kingdom. And so that's it. About 2 things that will come soonest. That's a private venture. We want to bring in a university here. I'm trying to, once we ratify the land acquisition process, we need a university. Then Madam Akbe, golf course. I want to build a golf course here. Like this Christmas time, people from the US, people bring in people from all over the world to come and play golf here. Maybe with time start organizing tournaments. So definitely I'm looking forward to whosoever wins the next election. By the grace of God, I will make sure by the grace of God that an institution is cited here in Egypt. Maybe College of Education, College of Agric, College of Nursing, just to open the place up. Yep.
That said, you train back a little into your orientation. You are an engineer by orientation and profession. Studied as much as in Russia, where sophistication of engineering comes to bear. How much of that, just opposing it with the realities in Nigeria, how do you see the industrial situation with Nigeria?
I'm a power supply expert engineer, so I'll dwell much on power supply, where I have a robust knowledge and experience. I believe one of the best things that the last administration did, though it was not rightly done, was privatization of power plants. But yet, I think the people who bought those power plants don't have the capacity to develop them, expand them. So there's no sign as if anything happened. My personal company, Energy Giant Group, were applying for license to generate light through wind turbine. So believing that the license will be granted. So if it is, and I know that if once there is investment in that sector, if power supply challenge can be solved in Nigeria, every other industrial challenge will be solved. Yeah. Because like me now, when I'm in Nigeria, when I'm in my village, I spend as much as average of 15,000 daily to keep light 24 hours in my house. So just imagine a business running on generator, industrial generator. The diesel will cost how much? You add that to cost of production. That's not good enough. So, but yet, the power situation in Nigeria is not hopeless. It's just that the privatization should be revisited. People who don't have capacity to function, the government should go into negotiation and see how some other company can reacquire whatever they sold to them. Or new licenses can be issued to people who have capacity. There will be a lot of competition. If you go to US, in the state of Texas alone, you have many, not just one, you have companies generating power. And so, if there is that competition, why not? Every other sector will pick up power is in shape. Yep.
Speaking of rural, like you said, it's not a rocket science and it's not a hopeless case. Mm-hmm. Most of these things are felt more in the rural areas. You share affinity with politicians. Mm-hmm. A lot of this is immersed in politicking and politics. How do you see politicians rising above petty inclination to liberalize these things and make them work?
Well, Nigeria has been independent since 1960. A country of over 200 million people. They've never generated 20,000 megawatts. That's a terrible thing. Terrible. How many Israel go to, how many of them, go and check how many megawatts they generated just yesterday. I monitor how many megawatts they generated just last year. Look at sun everywhere, heat everywhere. Solar, we are not harnessing the sun, the natural power source. So, number one, the biggest challenge of Nigerian politicians, nobody is thinking about anything. All they want to win the election. Make money for yourself and your family. That's all. Nobody cares about anything. You can't tell me from 1960 to date, they've never generated comfortably 10,000 megawatts. A country with a population of about 200 million. I don't know. So until that power issue is addressed, Nigeria might not be able to. Because technology is what will drive development. Without power, I don't even think about technology. Yes, every sector of the economy needs power. ICT, telecom, power everywhere. Without power, there will be no life. So until the power issue is addressed in Nigeria, you're talking about rural communities. Number one, electricity is not cheap. It's not cheap. So, if you want the rural areas electrified, then I think solar, the renewable energy will be the best. Because I think it's about 8 times cheaper than the conventional electricity. Yep. And you almost zero maintenance cost. Zero, there's no maintenance cost. Yeah. But politicians, the strong will to do these things, I don't know, it has been lacking for a long time. Anybody can come, speak grammar, tell you budget of this, how much they allocated. At the end of the day, we have not been able to generate 10,000 megawatts. That's a terrible thing. A nation of over 200 million people.
2023 is around the corner, and a lot seems to be thrown into the forthcoming election. Knowing what you know now, from your experience interacting with politicians and your foray into politics, though now I can address you more as an elder, as a chief with responsibility, there isn't your primary disposition might be just to be disposed to fatherly encouragement to politicians. From the much you know, what orientation, seeing what you've seen beyond Nigeria and back here in Nigeria, what do you think, or how would you describe the politician we need in Nigeria?
That's a big question. Well, over time, if you check the pedigree of people who are lined up now, like the presidency, if you ask me, without any kind of sentiment, right? If you ask me, Bola Tinubu is if you check their profile, Bola Tinubu, when he was governor of Lagos State, performed very well. Even when Obasanjo withheld federal allocation, the man ran Lagos without challenge. Never owed, never sacked any worker. The IGR of Lagos increased during this time. Besides, one of the things that distinguishes that man is he detribalised. When he was governor, if you check almost his team, you see there were no Yorubas there. Ben Akabuezi was commissioner for finance. He's an Igbo man. The man, I think the commissioner for land and survey, was from Delta here. This Aregbe Shola you see now, that is Minister of Interior, was a commissioner under him. He is from Osun State. So Tinubu is, as long as you are capable, he employs you, he engages you. That's the kind of president. Anybody can say anything, all the sensation and whatever is going on social media. But you want to be real, and you want a real change in Nigeria. To me, Tinubu is the man. If you check, yes, there's Obi left how much. Why are you leaving money when you didn't finish the infrastructures? There are still deficiencies everywhere, and you are still leaving money. Why are you leaving the money there? Where you didn't all the routes were not at water. So why leave the money? Why didn't you work and finish working with the money?